Good evening, welcome. Haven't seen anybody in the chat yet, so I don't know how many visitors or guests I have. But I will start this live stream. Today's topic, Flat Earth Magic. How to sell a fairy tale. What do I mean by that? I have started to look at the start of several YouTubers' channels to try to understand how they think, or perhaps that was the wrong word. Thinking perhaps is not the correct term when you talk about flat earthers. That's one of the topic. So I have chosen one flurf to study this. And I have plans on talking about some other flat earthers, but when I wait on some more people joining the stream, I will play a short music video for you.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to redefine yourself and to let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a...
It was even better than the Netflix with the other shield there. The guy, they believe, because the Glovers, they believe everything you tell them, right? They believe that the one is a flat earther, that the other one is a Glover. They believe anything.
I don't give a...
What on earth could have burned these old ancient cities up?
I don't give a...
God told me that I should forgive the people that hate me. This morning, as you can see, all the ranges and stuff were taken away.
I don't give a...
So, 3 a.m. this morning, God wakes me up.
I don't give a...
Hi, I'm Nathan and I wanted to put the video up.
I don't give a...
If the Earth were truly a globe, the Arctic and Antarctic polar regions and areas of comparable latitude...
I don't give a...
So, dear Mr. Sergeant, the undersigned is legal counsel to...
I don't give a...
Hello everyone. Today I have more excellent evidence of our flat Earth.
It's time to start doing the right thing. So trust your instinct, stop listening to others, and own your decisions. People will always tell you what to do, who to be, and how to live. So let's create some space for what matters most to you. You'll be glad you did. Now start claiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words,
I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already,
I don't give a...
you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member,
I don't give a... I don't give a... I don't give a...
So that was a little song I did prepare for this live stream. Hope you liked it. Recently I made a video with about Flatzoid claiming that snow proved that the final experiment was a hoax, was not real, because there were no footsteps and so on. And I asked the Flatzoid about his experience with snow and so on, but I still waiting for the answer to that one. It's typical Flurfs. Instead, he published this type of videos.
God told me that I should forgive the people that hate me. This morning, as you can see, all the wrenches and stuff were taken away. So, 3 a.m. this morning, God wakes me up.
So God waked him up. And what did God want to say to Flatzoid?
And I just felt I needed to start praying for everybody.
Why?
And just praying for everything, and even the people specifically.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
No stress. Even the people specifically for this channel. It's hard to explain exactly what I'm trying to explain, but
Yes, it's hard to understand what you're trying to explain, Flatzoid.
This channel, it's supposed to reach people, so
your channel is to fool people, I think.
God told me that I should forgive the people that hate me.
And I'm quite sure that I'm one of those he claims hate him. I don't hate Flatzoid, but I don't like his lies. And I think he's acting like a coward. But I don't hate him. Hate is a quite strong word.
I'm supposed to forgive the people that's been, doing all these really disgusting stuff towards us, because the thing which I got was, how did Jesus act when people mocked Jesus?
You're mocking or trying to do that to Will Duffy, for one example, when we present facts that disproves your silly claims. You try to make fun of us. It's so. Should we forgive you?
And the immediate thing that came to mind with me was, well, Jesus loved those who mocked him, and he came to us and said, well, remember the world mocked me first. Remember the world was against Jesus first.
Is Flatzoid comparing himself with Jesus now? Oh dear.
So what I'm trying to say is, while I was sitting there at 3 o'clock this morning having my quiet time and praying and stuff, I could clearly hear God telling me that I should give everybody an opportunity to hear the gospel. Give everybody an opportunity to, even if I don't agree with them, to be forgiven and hear the word. Now, obviously, there are a lot of trolls and stuff, which that's the whole reason why I had so many mods and stuff.
And trolls, that's us, who try to explain that you are science denier, that you are wrong regarding the shape of the Earth, gravity, how you navigate, and so on. That's trolls, according to you. Oh dear.
And I appreciate everybody that was a mod. So I'm not trying to say you guys did bad jobs or anything. I think all of you did awesome jobs. I really appreciate it. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. I'm just staying true to what God told me to do. So God told me to remove all mods or everybody that's blocked.
What? Did God tell him to remove all mods? Why do God care about moderators on your channel, Flatsoid? Oh dear.
For now, I'm not saying it's going to be permanent.
Now it's you saying. Just a moment ago, it was God who decided that you should remove your moderators. Oh dear.
And I feel it's on the right path. And I'm going to try my best not to get, how can I say, triggered or take things personal based on people trying to lie and misrepresent and mock and things, because that has been something on my heart quite a lot lately. So Jesus has been working in my heart on that, and that's the reason why nobody really has any mod status right now. So nobody, please just don't take it serious or any personal. It's I'm just obeying what God told me to.
Oh dear. I will once again change the topic. I haven't come to my main topic yet. I'm waiting to see if some more people will join the live stream. So I will take another subject. I have been in discussions with flat earthers like Flatsoid, Nathan, Oakley, Brian Slodick, and so on about navigation. And as many of you know, I work as a military man. Now I'm back based at home and working with smaller boats instead. Because of the type of work I do, I can't record live streams or make videos on my job, but I did find an older video where I is driving a smaller boat. This one, the part I will show here is me driving a prototype of a new boat. When I filmed this, I just have been driving when we filmed the commercial for the upcoming release of this boat. It's a Swedish-made boat. So let's play a part of it. Okay, I'm transporting a smaller boat, 50 nautical miles. And I'm passing a lovely harbor called Ulvöhamn. So I'm driving quite slow at the moment. It's only, I think I'm at 4 knots. Why is this important? The equipment you see here on the screen, a lot of it is flat earth killers. First of all, the charts are, as all of us know, based on a globe. you can see on the chart, it knows where I am, where the boat is. It's not zoomed in, but it's a mark here on the chart where my boat is. How do I receive that? Using GPS. I also have a radar on board. That's also flat
yes.
killer.
And having my coffee and a sandwich.
Oh, I did have coffee and sandwich. Luxury.
This is not the fastest of the boats I will drive. It's I did manage to get up in 42 knots, I think. But this is my workday today. Out at sea or in the lovely weather in the northern parts of Sweden. Let's see the radar. Let's see. Wrong one.
I'm in settings instead of starting the radar. I must defend I'm the system on this boat was new for me, so I didn't find what I was looking for at once.
Settings. Let's see. There. Radar. It's in standby. Broadcast. There you have a nice working
It's no
radar.
problem stating
Something
the
that
obvious.
flat earthers don't like, because this equipment is have a horizon. I can show you the boat I'm driving. Yes, I need speed. This is a brand new boat. It's a prototype. It will be in production next year, and I think the price is, it's an aluminium boat, a very tough one. It's I've been out at sea this morning in quite big waves, and it was no problem. I did drive 35 knots on the quite big waves, so it was a very stable boat. I think the price on this one will be around $130,000 or something. So, oh. And then it's a depth in Swedish, so it's 8.5 meter, 8 meters, and in the top FÖG it's my speed 6.4 knots. I think I will increase it a bit more, and I think it's getting windy, so I think I will get this up in 42 knots.
Let's see which speed I did gain that time.
40. 42 knots. Okay, I think I will lose the connection soon, but this is 44.
So that was a short one. I'm working at sea. This time I was hired for a commercial to a brand new boat. The week after that I was driving, test drive 2 other faster boats. I help television productions with and film productions with boat drivers and driving boats. So you can call me a stunt driver if you want. But in my normal occupation, I work with other type of ships and boats. Nowadays, this is the type of boat. This is the Swedish combat boat 90. It's 16 meter long. It's basically aluminium, but it's bulletproof. And it can be equipped with mines, anti-ship missiles. You see the guns in the front here. In this case, they're placing troops on a small island, so they use the guns before. This have a top speed around the speed I had on the boat before. It's capable of stopping in about 30 meters from full speed. It's have 2 water jets, so you can do a crash stop and stop very, very fast. I think they will show a crash stop in a while. So it's not me driving this time on this video, because it's hard to get approval to film when I'm working. So nowadays, this summer, I will be working with this type of boats almost all the time. In my case, I don't have a lot of soldiers on board. It's this summer I will work with security. I will work with weapon tests and be in charge of the security, so civilian ships don't come in the area where we are testing the weapon systems and so on. So that's what I'm doing this summer. But this is a bit about what I'm doing today. I will stop this video soon, but I wanted to show a crash stop. If we wait a while here. These boats is used of other nations. These are built here in Sweden. I'm a test driver for those boats too. But the Norwegians have them. US have some of them. We have sent several of them to Ukraine. Some police forces in the world use them. So it's a quite popular type of boat. Now I think it will be a crash stop. Lovely sunset. Oh, the sun is on its way behind the horizon. Oh dear, a flat earth killer. Here you will have a crash stop. And then you will see one from in slow motion from the front. So, and you can stop even faster if you do this crash stop and make a sharp turn at the same time. You will have it. Okay, I will start that video I had planned. The first one I have had a look at. The first flat earther I will look at is Nathan, and I have gone back to the beginning. So I have chosen, he did do video vlogs in the beginning, and here you can get a sense of the start. How was Nathan Flat Earther born?
Right, I'm just going to roll the camera and waffle because I can't think of how to start this. So this is a video log just to introduce where I'm at and why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I think this is quite interesting to understand where Nathan is coming from.
I've spent 4 years floating around aimlessly, doing nothing really, and
So Nathan is bored. He don't know what to do.
it's sad because I feel like I'm more capable than that. And being a lazy person, I want to find an easy way of doing everything. And there's generally an easy way to most things. But in my laziness, I've stumbled upon plenty of different things to fill my time. Mostly conspiracy theories, which are fascinating, but some of them plausible, some of them implausible. And you never really find any that are interesting enough to keep your attention for a long time. Then you come across something like flat Earth, and
so Nathan in the beginning was looking for a conspiracy theory that was something for him. He was actively searching for a conspiracy theory. So why do you search actively for a conspiracy theory that you can believe in? Is it to be special? What's the reason behind it? So he didn't, if you listen to Nathan here, he didn't see signs that the earth is flat. He was actively looking for a conspiracy that Nathan could get interested in. He was bored, he was lazy, and he was looking for something to be special.
And as soon as you do come across it, you realise that all the questions that are being asked, you've asked yourself, or asked in a fleeting way. So you've said to yourself, why isn't the moon fully lit when it can see all of the sun? And you ask these questions in such a fleeting way that you never even consider that you should be thinking about it in a realistic way. Now, I'm, I don't know, a month into this, maybe less, looking at lots of videos, testing things out for myself, gathering opinions from loved ones and friends. And the further I go, or the further I went until today, the more depressed I got. I felt like I was losing something that was important, space and science fiction and all those things that we are apparently predictively programmed by our friendly satanic TV owners and what have you. You get.
I find it interesting that Nathan is talking about satanic. We will come back to that one.
Get to a point where you think, well, why am I sad about this? What is it that I've lost? And you go, well, I've lost something that was beautifully constructed, that was elegant and enjoyable. Most people enjoy Star Wars. Some people don't. But what have you gained, or what have I gained? When I look up at the sky, I always looked up at the sky. I always thought it looked beautiful. I always thought it was a wonderful thing to behold. And now I look at the sky, I still feel exactly the same. But it feels like there's a world of possibility. There's a world of unanswered questions. Posing loads of questions, tie yourself up in knots. But it means that if we've been lied to, there's a huge amount of things that we can do. And with the aid of modern technology, computers and such, there's no reason why we can't do these mathematical equations that the geniuses of 50, 100 years ago took a long time to do. You read about the computational power of graphics cards, and we're wasting them shooting each other in the face on battlefield.
So if you listen here tonight, and here he's not convinced about the shape of the earth. It's not the shape of the earth that's important for Nathan. it feels like Nathan wants to be special. That's the reason why he actively search for a conspiracy.
We could be using these things to work out complex equations for ourselves. So we have the means at our disposal, and this was kind of where I was hoping this would lead. I've not been bullied, but been browbeaten by a couple of people on the Globebusters ISS watch into publishing some of the videos that I'd done, not even a vague notion of where I was going or what I was trying to achieve. So I've stuck those videos up. One, as soon as I put it up, I thought, look, there's great questions in perspective in this video I've done about a launch and the Saturn, the size of the, not the Saturn, the great big thing with the rockets on the side. I forgot what they call it. The thing that.
Nathan, do you mean the space shuttle? Oh dear.
Launched in, but yeah, it seems crazy that they give you massive figures, and when you look at it with a bit of perspective, it seems like it's much smaller. But there's no way of proving that without great maths. Bring me back to things like graphics cards and their computational abilities. There's no reason why we can't do these things ourselves. There's no reason why we can't work out fantastic solutions to great questions. And if Tesla shows us anything, it's that you can flat out tell whoever is in charge that they're wrong. Now, the powers that be may come on your door and drag you away, but at the moment there's a lot of us. There's a lot of people who have the same ideas. And Jeranism said on that ISS watch, make a video. If you're hesitating, just make one. This is me doing this. Making a video saying I've no idea where to go from here. This is just the beginning. Hopefully there's a few other people out there that do the same and say, actually, I know how to use the computational power of a graphics card to work out complex equations, and I can figure out how to compare ground traffic to air traffic and see if there should be a difference or is a difference. Who knows? Hopefully my accountant friend will lend me a hand. I've put out a little message to him. Anyway, this video's got on to 5 minutes, which in my view is too long. So I'll cut off here and say I'm Nathan Oakley. Hopefully my notes that I've made and scribbled from my interview with my creationist Christian uncle will shed some more light on at least the Christian viewpoint, which is a lot older than our current science. Hopefully is knowledgeable and gives me some good answers to the questions about the lunar tetrad. We'll see. He's arranged to see me, I think it's a week today. So great. That's me signing off.
So, nowadays he's mocking Jaren. So here we have it. Jeranism was the one told told him to make videos and so on. Nowadays it sounds like, if you listen to Nathan, he's too arrogant, he knows everything, he's the Mr. Flat Earth. Stating the obvious, sorry that I chose Nathan, but I find it interesting to listen to this. This is later this year. This video will be 10 years old. So it's happened a lot with Nathan these past 10 years. From this to the arrogant prick that you will see on his live streams today. Here he thought that 5 minutes was too long, and now he have live streams on 2.5, 3 hours. So let's move on. I will jump a bit in the next number 2. So, sorry to tell.
Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and this is my second video log, hopefully in a series of many. And I'm just preparing to do an interview with my uncle, who is a creationist, a Christian missionary, has a very large congregation. He's been all over the world, has done very, very good work and is a great guy.
So I found this interesting. I have wondered about Nathan if he also thinks that the Bible talks about a flat earth. He avoid these subjects in his live streams and so on today. He tries to fool his audience that the science tells us it's measured flat and all that nonsense. But here, this is early, unexperienced Nathan. He's not confident about what he's talking about. It's quite clear that he's not sure about the shape. Welcome, Joe Cole and Sensational and Joachim Mack. I forgot to welcome you. So let's move on a bit with this one.
There's the rest of his family who also do loads and loads of charity work. And my slight concern is that I might catch him off guard when I interview him. I don't want Adrian Hawkes, my uncle, to feel like I've trapped him when I do this. So I thought I'd make another video log of why I'm doing this interview with him, why I've picked him. Ideally, I hope he doesn't take any offence to this, but my grandfather, my late grandfather, at 100, was by far the most knowledgeable person on the Bible I've ever met, and in an ideal world he'd still be alive, but he's not. So Adrian, who is equally well versed, definitely equally well versed, he is going to be the person who has the most real world experience, I think, in realism. I couldn't have asked my grandfather to do it. He would have been biased. And I'm hoping Adrian won't be biased. I'm hoping that he'll be very informed and informative when I interview him.
So what Nathan is planning to do here is seeking confirmation from his deeply religious uncle. So in these 1.5 video we looked at so far, I feel like it's a lost. I'm looking at a lost person. He are searching. He's searching for something that makes him special, and I believe he's struggling a bit with religion.
But yeah, so that brings me to well, why would I interview him? What's this got to do with me? And it brought me back right to my very first memories in life, when I came across the flat Earth. My first ever memory was a Christmas one year when I was sat on my parents' bed. I remember it very vividly, and they gave me a space toy. I imagine it being about this big, and it was, it had a little cockpit and a little tether that you could stick the spaceman when he came out, when he did his spacewalk. And I had it for a period of time, and it was the toy I took with me on my first day of school, what they'd now call reception class. And that toy has sort of stuck with me as long as I can ever remember, and it was the thing that inspired me to love space and love it with a passion. And from there, I can remember being taught the wonderful word of God and the Bible, and hearing the information for the first time as a young child, and being not impressionable, but liking what I heard. Obviously, being impressionable as a small child, that goes without saying. But as I grew up and went to secondary school, I remember my first day of secondary school and choosing to do RE and getting kicked out of the class on 2 occasions. The first occasion was when it was talking, the very old religious education teacher was talking about the creation story and about the 7 days, and I brought up dinosaurs and get out. That was me standing in this old, very, very old school that used to be, I think it was a monastery in Moseley in Birmingham, for the entire lesson because I brought up dinosaurs.
So I'm sorry if you find this boring, but I think it interesting to try to look at those we see today, like Nathan. If you look at his background here, I think religion is a big part. Behind the scene, I think religion is a big part of Nathan being the Nathan we're seeing today. And in the beginning, he didn't have any confidence in himself. I think it's quite clear. I will jump to a new one here. Wait. That was religion. Jump to the next one. This is number 3.
Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and I wanted to do a quick video log. This is the third in hopefully a series of many. And the reason I'm doing this video log is I've been off ill for a good long while with a chest infection, and despite trying to fight through it and work and even interview my uncle, battling through it, I've been stuck at home most of the time, coughing my lungs up, and it's meant I've spent a lot of time on Facebook. And I don't normally subscribe to Facebook, frankly. I think it's a complete waste of time. But while I've been ill, I've been bored, so that's what I've done. And an old friend who I lived with many, many years ago, whose name I won't mention, Robbie O'Hare, he has sort of been arguing with me on Facebook in a very coherent way. He's asked all the questions that I immediately asked as soon as I came across this, and I think I said in my first video, they were all questions that I'd already asked myself. But he asked me over and over all of the different questions. He went through every single subject, loads and loads and loads of threads. He came back with all of the usual arguments that everyone gets from all the usual books and their usual education. He even had a few friends chirping at various different stages, which was amusing, when they sort of pop up and go, "Hey, look, we've got phones, we've got GPS. Are you an idiot?" Which is great, because you can immediately, or I did, I leant out my window and took a picture of a GPS tower and said, well...
Oh dear, did he really say that? A GPS tower? Yeah, probably he did see a cell phone tower, not GPS.
Well, look, I can see this GPS tower. Coincidentally, my satellite dish is pointing directly at it.
Oh dear. so back in the days when many people had satellite television, they all have their satellite dishes pointing to a GPS tower. Oh dear.
My friend got back and said, well, you know, this sat, whatever it's called over Europe, is why your dish is pointing that way. So I challenged him to take a photograph of it, and his friend named Christina. And neither of them could. They couldn't get me not only could they not get me a photo of that satellite, they couldn't get me a photograph of any satellite.
So, so when his friends told him that the signals television signals came from a satellite, he asked them to take a picture of it. Oh dear. A television satellite isn't so big. It's quite small, and it's on a very, very long distance. What kind of camera equipment do Nathan's friends have?
Right. And my friend's cognitive dissonance kicks in. He sees a cartoon of a satellite and sends it to me and goes, look, there's a satellite. And I said, well, that's a cartoon. Anyway, going through all of the points that he did, the first go-to one was the curve and saying, look, there's a curve. He even posted on my Facebook page a picture from the jump from space, the Red Bull jump. And that was his look, it's a globe, it's clearly round. So I thought I'd just cue up this bit of an interview that Eric Debay did. I think it was quite some time ago.
So where in the previous of his vlogs, he had Journalist told him to start making videos. Here, his source of information is Eric Debay. Okay, let's move on to the next video. There we have it.
Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and this is video log number 4, hopefully in a series of many. And I wanted to do a quick video about guilt and whether or not coming to the conclusion that a lot of us have, that we've been deceived in a big way, is fair game if you're asked for it. And I asked myself this question because today I was at work and I was actually working on the shop floor with staff that I've never interacted with before. I'm usually out and about on the road driving, so it's an interaction that I'm not accustomed to. And the very sweet kid, a 17-year-old guy, whatever you want to call him, that was chatting with me, and I was chatting with him, asking him, you know, what are you doing, what are you studying, what are you going to go to university to do? And as soon as geography got brought up, I sort of must have had too much of a wry smile on my face, because I said, oh yeah, I've got a recent interest in geography, which obviously it sort of sparked his enthusiasm enough to sort of quiz me on what I meant. And I had to sort of say, it's not really fair for me to say this to you, but he quizzed and quizzed and quizzed, and I think it just made him want to push harder to know exactly what it was that I was talking about. So I told him, I said, okay, what shape do you think the world is? And he obviously said a sphere. And I said, well, how do you know? Pulled the old Matt Boylan on him and said, well, how do you know it is? And his answer was one that actually I hadn't got that often, which is not a metaphysical or a mathematical or a logical answer. It was, well, everybody knows. And it was a bit of an eye-opener because I'd never heard that one before.
So, in the beginning, he talked with some friends about flat Earth. Then he have started following other flat earthers. Obviously, they have had some contact with Jeranism. Now he's brave enough to talk with the young guy on at work. So he's quickly evolving to be a flat Earth guru. Let's jump on here. And here we have the next.
I'm playing away. I don't think so. No, we're on Tiger Dan. Skip back and see if we can.
There he was talking about Tiger Dan. I believe that's a flat earther that have disappeared some years ago. And here we have his next inspiration.
Brian Mullen. So this is Brian Mullen, and he does these 3.
So that's another of his sources. So let's move on to the next one.
Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and this is my 5th video log, hopefully in a series of many. I wanted to make a video log about a response video to video log number 3. And in video log 3, I just made a point about satellites being very difficult to depict online, or very difficult to find a picture, with my friend Robbie O'Hare. And
oh dear, the friend have a name. I wonder if he's still one of Nathan's friends.
In the process of doing so, he sent me a cartoon. I called it cognitive dissonance. He genuinely thought he was sending me a picture. So he thought it was a real picture. Obviously, knowing what I know, it wasn't.
And how did Nathan know that it was not a real picture? He believed it was no real picture.
And I pointed that out to him and then made mention of it in the third video log. So off the back of that, I did a quick response and uploaded a video that was titled "No Satellites" or "No Photos of Satellites in Space," thinking if I keep it really narrow, I'll see what response I got. As soon as I'd uploaded the video and before I'd even reviewed it to change some of the spelling errors, there was 4 thumbs down and 2 views, which I was quite surprised about. Sort of mathematically impossible, but there we go. That's the way it was. But within an hour, I'd got several responses. And this isn't really what I'm after. I'm after a picture of something that looks like a satellite. And I'm not being coy when I say satellite. There's no need to tell me that the moon is a satellite or that technically the ISS is a satellite. Now, I realise they've got tech for the ISS down a little bit better than they did for the thousands of satellites that we have roaming above us, and indeed in geostationary orbit, i.e. fixed in their places. Now, what I'm suggesting is that we have very good equipment, very good zoom. We should be able to take a good picture of a satellite, especially one that's in geostationary orbit.
So there we are once again. Nathan showed that he don't understand how small a satellite is and how far away it is. He thinks an ordinary camera is capable of taking photos of a satellite.
And a good picture is a good picture. Time-lapse photography of lights in the sky, it doesn't cut it. It's not a photograph of a satellite, it's a photograph of the streak of light apparently a satellite makes. That's not what I'm after. This is a photograph of something. I don't know what, but it's a photograph. Back to more dots and streaks. Not really what I'm after, not really what I'm after. Not really what I'm after. The aurora, very pretty. Very nice photograph. Not really what I'm after. Grainy.
So he's evolving.
Mustard. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you in the next one. Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and this is video log number 6.
What is it in the background? Is it a child movie or?
This video log is going to be about an email that I got from an observatory, and the reason I got in touch with this observatory was because of yet another Facebook.
This one I have watched. This one is so damn stupid. And I don't understand why Nathan still have these lives up on his channel. Because they are embarrassing.
Debate. So whilst debating with a good friend of mine, one of his contacts, friends, I think he's a work colleague, piped up in regards to I can't actually remember the topic and how it started, but it was in regards to the lunar rover. And he essentially said that he could or had seen the lunar rover on the surface of the moon from an observatory called Goonhilly, which is in Cornwall. And my reaction was simple. Fantastic news. I can go back to normal life if I can see this rover. If you can see it, I can see it. So I got in touch.
So, to convince him, if he can see the moon rover, he would leave flat Earth. Oh dear, it's nonsense.
With the observatory, and the visitor centre was being overhauled, so they weren't actually open. But I got a contact email address, and about a week ago I sent them off an email. I'll just read that email to you. Dear Sir or Madame, I'm writing to see if you can help me regarding the ongoing debate about the equipment left on the surface of the moon following the Apollo landings. It is my understanding that the rover cannot be seen with a domestic telescope. I would like to dispel the theory that the world in which we live is a flat plane. I feel that if I can see the equipment on the moon with my own eyes, I can go back to living a normal life and stop making flat Earth videos. I'm certain this debate can be put to bed with the help of Goonhilly. I look forward to hearing from you.
Did he really send that embarrassing? Oh dear.
So that was about a week ago, and essentially the conversation on Facebook drew to a close. And then yesterday I got a reply, which was interesting, to say the least. I'll read the reply. Nathan.
And what do you think the reply will be?
The moon is approximately 400,000 kilometres from Earth. That's 4 million metres. The rover is approximately 2 metres across. That's a ratio of 2 million to 1. 360 degrees divided by 2 million equals 0.00000018 degree. That's 0.0065 arc second. The angular resolution of the Hubble Space Telescope is about 0.05 arc second. So, you wouldn't even see the rover using the Hubble. I don't think you'll be able to see it, therefore, with any Earth-based telescope. And then the last bit is the most important. But it is there! Exclamation mark. The Goonhilly team. So, after getting this, I sent it on to Mark Sargent. Hopefully he'll put it in one of his videos and give me a mention.
Oh dear. It's quite clear. I think he got a very good explanation from the observatory why it's impossible to see from Earth or from the Hubble telescope. It's the same today. Nathan can't understand scale. and calculations. We have the classic with if you divide 1,000 meters. What was it with kilometers? If you have kilometers. Oh, this is so stupid. His friend was lying. That's one thing. He haven't seen the moon rover, but that don't prove that we live on a flat Earth. It's oh dear. I must take a break from this fool. I will leave the computer quick one. I will once again show you the video music video I showed in the beginning. It's 3 minutes. I will be back when it's finished.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a...
It was even better than the Netflix with the other shield there, the guy they believe, because the Glovers, they believe everything you tell them, right? They believe that the one is a flat earther, that the other one is a glober. They believe anything.
I don't give a...
What on earth could have burned these old ancient cities up?
I don't give a...
God told me that I should forgive the people that hate me. This morning, As you can see, all the ranges and stuff are taken away.
I don't give a
So, 3 a.m. this morning, God wakes me up.
I don't give a
Hi, I'm Nathan Makeley, and I wanted to do a quick video log.
I don't give a
If the Earth were truly a globe, the Arctic and Antarctic polar regions and areas of comparable latitude.
I don't give a
So, dear Mr. Sergeant, the undersigned is legal counsel to...
I don't give a
Hello, everyone. Today, I have more excellent evidence of our flat Earth.
So, I'm back. And that was my little music video I prepared. Wait, turn it off. So, okay. I'm sorry that you had to listen to so much Nathan Oakley, but I'm starting to feeling a bit bored on making flat Earth videos. Sometimes I feel I find great videos to make videos about, but it's not so many publishing and they repeating the same nonsense. Therefore, I thought it was interesting to look at the back catalog, the older stuff from flat earthers, to try to understand where they're coming from, understand their beginning in flat earth, and try to make some sense of this nonsense. I think it's quite obvious when you look at Nathan's older stuff. He got into flat earth because when he looked on all conspiracy theories he could find, it was the one that excited him. He was active looking for something to make as his. And now, 10 years later, he tries to have flat earth as his occupation. He tries to be, as he call it, be a professional. And the channel is not going so great, so now he's writing a book. He's an author. So in the beginning, he was a salesman traveling around the UK, and now, 10 years later, he's a professional. He's falling, yeah. But I'm quite sure that quite soon Nathan will lose interest in this, because he must have a quite hard life. I have tried to calculate how much he earns on his channel each month, and it's almost nothing. Yes, I know that he's when he have problem with his computer, he's begging for money and so on. But who's feeding Nathan Oakley? Who feeds Nathan Oakley's daughter? It can't be Nathan, because he can't make that kind of money. His channel is too small, and okay, you can earn some money with a channel with 25,000 subscribers, but you need to have the views, and some small niched channels have sponsorships, so they have producers of things related to the channel. I know some niched, small, for instance, camera-orientated channels. But they have sponsorships. I have no idea what I agreed on in the chat, I hope. I have no idea what I agreed to in the chat. I hope you're... I didn't understand that one, old man. But sorry, I try to understand you, but I don't understand what you agreed on in the chat. I'm trying to read here. Oh no, it's Andy. Yes, the observatory. I also think they believed it was a child sending the letter, but it was a very polite reply. No, so I will do this type of content more worked through. I'm planning to deep dive a bit into other of the bigger flurfs to try to understand how it all started. I think it's quite obvious with wait, why do... Yes, and you have things you can observe from Earth. You can bounce radar against and so on. There are things you can not see but interact with from Earth. And another thing with ham operators, radio. Private radio people who have radios as a hobby bounces radio signals against the moon. And if you know anything about radio signals, you can measure distances using the time that it takes for the signal to come back. So same with radar. I think I mentioned this. I'm in the board of. I'm sitting in the board for a museum, a coast artillery museum here in Sweden, and if you look at the fire control there, this was the technique we use. The fortress or the coast artillery was built in the 1950s, but the technique in the facility have evolved over time. Sweden, for instance, was the first army that uses laser, and it was 1970, and then the laser was used for measured distances. But if you look at the fire control in this coastal artillery, we have radars, we have television cameras, and we have lasers, and how they fire on ships, they measures distances primarily with the radar, and the radar calculate the distance with time, how long takes the signal to bounce and come back. And there you have the distance. The same is you can do with the moon, for instance. So that you can't see a moon rover, that's purely stupid. Time proves very many things. How long it takes for something to bounce back, for instance. I think he have had some lives, but many of his lives nowadays is members only, I believe. And I think I covered a newer live than 4 weeks ago, but I'm not sure. I did find another fool. Wait, where is he?
So we see in a normal setting, a compass is always pointing to the north and it's getting a reading from this force that's going on in the north. Okay. Now, if you want to get caught up on all of my research on this, I'll leave a link in the comment section and description box, because this is a very interesting topic.
This is for me a new flat earther. Free your mind. I don't remember who recommended him as great. I believe it was Taboo. But for me, it's a new channel. I don't know how long he have been out, but this is a typical flat earther. Know nothing, thinks he knows it all.
Fascinates me to think of how a magnetic compass is always pointing to the north, and I believe it's something more going on than what the scientific explanation is. So I'm thinking the other day, I'm like, I've brought this up before in previous videos, but I never really did a video dedicated to this subject. So what happens when you cross the equator on the south of a globe? Shouldn't the compass point to the south pole? I was thinking. So I looked up the question and I was trying to find some answers to it and saw really vague answers to it. I didn't really have a whole lot of time to dig into this subject because at this point I'm trying to just hang on here with this channel still. So I can't really do the deep dives like I used to do when this channel was, you know, when it provided me the time and resources to do that type of research. So
if you don't understand what's happening with the compass, if you pass the equator, nothing happens. It's still pointing to the north.
I was vaguely looking into it, and you know, I was looking for some answers, and it sounds like the scientific explanations are just kind of vague answers to this question. They're saying something about a magnetic line or whatever. It's almost as if they're
magnetic line,
suggesting that we should only get a reading from the north center, and I'm like, I'm definitely dismissing that, because
he's making things up. That's not the scientific explanation of a compass.
I mean, if anyone's an expert on magnetics and what should happen on a globe Earth, I'd like to know your explanation. But as far as I'm just kind of brainstorming here, I would think that you should get a South Pole reading once you're south of the equator if we are on a globe, right? So I was...
Oh dear. He's not brainstorming. I believe it's a storm in his brain. Oh.
Looking into some more evidence, and I found some videos of people in Antarctica, and so I wanted to see what they had to say. The first video I clicked on, this lady was in Antarctica and she turned around and showed the signs that shows that you're around the Mercado station or whatever, you know, you're definitely in Antarctica. So this scientist was going to show us what a compass does when you're in Antarctica, and here she is pulling out a phone with a compass on it. I'm like, this isn't a scientific observation. You're pulling out a digital compass on your phone. And so she was showing us this. I immediately skipped off the video. I said, I need to see what a magnetic compass does in Antarctica. So I found another video. And so this guy actually had a magnetic compass.
So he's talking about a female scientist on Antarctica that have made a test with the compass in her phone, but he didn't show it. He did dismissed the video, but he don't show anything about it from the video.
Compass in Antarctica, and he's showing us what a compass does when you're in Antarctica. And as he was showing us what a compass does, he's pretty much saying that it's useless and, you know, it's not really giving a reading. He's basically saying how the pointer on the compass was pretty much just pointing anywhere it wants, kind of. It was not really reading properly from what I was gathering from what his observation was.
McMurdo Sound. I'm on Ross Island. That's where McMurdo Science Station is. And I'm going to show you about how compasses work. So here's my compass I brought from home. And there's a difference between magnetic north and geometric north, geographical north. Geographical north is the North Pole, where all the lines of longitude meet. The magnetic South Pole is going to be where the magnetic pole lines up. And just so happens that the magnetic South Pole right now isn't even on the continent of Antarctica. It's off of Antarctica. And there's a thing called declination. That's the difference between the two, geographic and magnetic. Currently, it's about 140 degrees difference, which means that if your compass did work, it would lead you in almost the complete opposite direction. So I thought I'd show you this though. Here's my compass, and you can see that white needle is pointing down. Look at, as I'm rotating around, that compass doesn't even spin. The needle stays the same. That white needle is dragging down on the bottom of the compass. So
first of all, he did explain that the magnetic South Pole is not on the continent, Antarctic continent. And this part, here we have a killer, a flat earth killer. He's obvious from the northern hemisphere of the world because he have a northern compass. That's why the needle is dragging in the compass. This the same thing that happened to Jernism in Argentina before Chile, or was it Chile they traveled from? Yeah, and on it's the same. It's a northern magnetic compass.
So kind of fun to play with, but not real useful. I mean, you could rotate it around and try to get that off of the bottom of the compass, but for the most part, not real useful.
And so he was attempting to answer the question what a compass does in Antarctica, and he's just kind of saying, well, it's pretty much not working from what I was gathering from his observation. He's pretty much
yeah, Toon had a compass that worked because Toon understood that Jaron didn't before, that you can't use a northern compass in down south. But this flat earth researcher, he don't understand anything at all, even when this man X is explaining where the South Pole and where the magnetic South Pole is. He didn't get it. Oh dear. I have hold you here for a long time now. I think I will soon end the stream. Glad that it did come some people. When I started, I was quite alone, but nice to see so many people here. as I mentioned before, I nowadays work close to home, so I will come back with more live streams and more videos. But I believe that was all I had for you today. My dog wants to go out on a walk, so I think soon he will storm the room and demand me to rise up and go out with him. So I think it's best that I go, otherwise I have an angry dog on my throat. So thank you for watching, thank you for visiting. See you soon and have a nice day.